This is the Box Banter podcast. My name's Raymond and this is Timmy. And this week we were at Silverstone. I have no idea what round we're up to. Do you have any idea?
I could guess and say 10.
10? All right, let's go with 10.
Yeah, round 10.
The British Grand Prix. We made it through the Brit Glazing Fest. Well done, everybody.
Oh, man. Had some doozies too through the coverage.
Oof, man, it started early too. As soon as I flicked on for free practice one, there's only one session this weekend because of the sprint weekend.
I missed it. Yep.
The glazing was just relentless.
Yep.
So I was like, oh boy, it's going to be a long weekend.
Yeah, I've got something noted.
Oh, do you?
Something very specific.
Okay.
That irked me.
In true spirit, hello, Governor. Would you like a cup of tea before we get started?
Caught me by surprise. I'm trying to think of a good response. I haven't got nothing.
Yeah, well, it's pretty stock standard stuff for you.
I've got no Brit in me. I've got no Brit in me. That is the truth.
Bring much to the show, let's be honest.
Nah, that's true. But I've got no Brit in me. I've got nothing Brit to give you.
Man, I'm getting violent early on,
It's good. Just bring the heat.
Just bring the aggression.
Bring the heat.
I have to say, you're doing the talking points today. So
Yeah. Because you're a lazy son of a bitch.
I've enjoyed a nice day off. It's been lovely.
You spring it on me at the 11th hour.
Well, some of us watched live, and they really took.
You think that's dedicated? I watched an hour and a half delayed.
Why would you do such a thing? Why would you go? You know what? 12 midnight is not a terrible enough start time for me. I'll wait till the race finishes and then I'll start the race.
I had other things to do, and
you had other things to do.
Other things to do, yeah. And
what other things could you possibly have to do at midnight?
You want me to go into detail?
Well, I'd like to know now.
Well, it's not as saucy as some people might be hoping. I had an iRacing event to partake in.
Okay.
And it just happened before midnight. And to tell you the truth, when I thought, do I watch the British Grand Prix or do I partake in this special event on iRacing? And mind you, catch the Grand Prix later and may or may not fall asleep, which for the record, I'll watch the whole thing.
So you chose gaming over F1?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got to the F1.
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah. And I dare say it probably overlapped a little. Like when I started the race, I dare say the race would have been just ending. Okay. So I kind of caught it at the live time. But yeah.
Before you get into your talking points, I have to say, today I've been thinking about Silverstone all day.
Wow. Had a real effect on you.
Well, yes and no. So obviously, we know how Silverstone ended. Not great. But in general, I have to say, I was engaged the whole race. I was invested, and
there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on, and it really, I didn't drift off. I didn't lose interest. I didn't, catch a cheeky 10-minute nap in the middle there somewhere. I was invested, and it felt a little bit, ironically to say, like old F1 days.
We've done this a few times this season too.
Yeah, and this is why I kind of sit here a little bit conflicted because, the change to the battery brought about a lot of things that maybe people didn't see coming. Super clipping being one of those things.
That's the truth. Yep.
And, a lot of people are very vocal still about how terrible the state of F1 is, especially your boy Alonso. I don't know if you've seen his comments, but he's relentless on how...
Do you blame the guy?
I mean, he's not having a fun time, so I don't blame him. But I have to say, I'm quite now conflicted because every week I'm looking more and more forward to the next race. And the race has been exciting. And there are elements there that are still a little bit phony and fake. But I think this is the new era of Formula One. We have to accept it. Whether we do end up moving into V8s or V10s, I don't know. But technology now plays a bigger part in modern F1 than it ever has before. I have such a love and adoration for, I'll call it analog racing. Right. Where the driver was the one that had to have that they had the majority of the effect on the vehicle. Now I think the sport's flipped. And technology has the bigger effect on the vehicle. 100%. There's a sensor for everything.
And I'll tell you the truth, it's adding on to that. I didn't realize the boost mode. I didn't realize that was, a mode they select and the car automatically uses boost to prioritize the lap in offense or defense. I thought, because back in the day, back in your 2012 era, when you had KERS, that was literally just a button.
Yeah.
That was no pre-programming. That was use it as you wish. Use it and drain it.
Yeah.
And, I didn't realize now it has if the driver leaves it alone and avoids the temptation, which Brundle or Crofty correctly pointed out, Hamilton can't hold his nut. He seems the worst for it. But he's just like, no, I want to do it now. Yeah. He hits the override button more than anybody. But Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought the drivers were probably coached or taught or used the sim to decide the most efficient way to use their battery. But I didn't realize it's literally a case of you're leading, so you're obviously in defense. You select mode 3, and that is the optimum way to use your battery over the lap to defend.
In a defensive.
And then whereas if you're second, you got a different mode option which triggers your battery in different areas. So again, it's fully automated.
Yeah. So nice little addition there, because I think that we're in like the controller kid era. You know, if you grew up playing like video games, you know, you think about drivers like Hamilton and Alonso and stuff. They probably didn't play a lot of video games. These kids like Antonelli and probably Oscar and whatnot, they probably did grow up playing video games.
Oh,
and
he's younger than us.
Steering wheel is only one step away from a video game controller.
Right. Okay.
You know, so they're busier than ever. You can see them. Like, I watched multiple times Kimi going into Maggots and Beckett's, and before he gets there, he makes an adjustment on the dial, and you think, wow, like this is a whole different beast now.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that strategy has returned to Formula One, and I think at the end of the day, I'd always take strategy over speed, so to speak.
Yeah.
And and what we sort of had in the last era, to a degree. I mean, we don't want to go too far.
You are right.
But they kept mentioning that the way that they can sort of perfect this is by having some way to know exactly how much battery each car has at each time
to make the coverage
for each
better
engagement.
And allow us.
Yeah, and I think that is the next logical step, because there are a number of times when Verstappen was coming up to have a dogfight with Hamilton or Russell, and you are just kind of left in the dark.
Yeah.
You don't really know who's better off battery wise and who's not.
I think we're becoming trained now. You can kind of tell, that overtake was at a weird spot. Like the amount of overtakes coming into cops, and every time was like, okay, wait till you get to the hanger straight, and you're going to see what happened every time, pretty much, where, okay, such and such drained their battery, Lulu, to pass into cops, and then he's left with nothing. I think at this point we understand where the manufacturer overtakes are coming from, and that it's all to do. When we saw more this race we're having a while of the manufactured overtakes in weird spots.
I think, like manufactured overtakes, I'm almost reluctant to call it that, because whilst it is a push button, go faster and get an easy overtake, and drivers like Alonso are they're very vocal about there's no skill required in that, and I do agree there's no skill in pressing a button. However, the skill has changed from a driver's ability to race the car on track the fastest way to now managing your car and your car's energies the most efficient way.
Yeah.
The game has changed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is Formula One, not Formula Management.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And that's what people are finding hard to grasp.
No, but they have sort of changed it now. So it feels like, okay, this is a part of the sport and it's a part of the strategy. And it's almost like, okay, if per lap you have basically the ability to have nitrous oxide twice in two zones, or like you can use it twice in a lap, and it's up to you where you want to choose it or use it. That's kind of now become a part of the playbook, and it's become a part of the driver strategy and the team strategy. Yeah. So it's sort of like taking, let's say, a weakness that the sport has right now and turning it into a strategy and making it part of the the
thing is, I 100% think every pass made into cops was a ballsy maneuver. Like, it all came down to a boost.
That was a couple of times where I winced on the couch.
Where I was like, the George Hamilton one, I was like, oh, it's happening. Like, they were great moves, but it's in an unnatural spot. And again, but it then led to the easy overtake down the hanger straight into the third last corner. That's what happened every time. It's like, it's great that you use your battery to put yourself in a position to make a hectic overtake at a place you don't. We never used to see overtakes, and last time we saw great overtakes there, Verstappen had one of the biggest crashes in Formula 1 history. Like, it's just not a traditionally place you're overtaking there.
Lewis got Charles on that same corner mere laps later as well. And he didn't bunt him into the wall.
Yeah, so. He didn't try to kill him. Yeah. So that's all good, but then you rob Peter to pay Paul, as they say. You have that great moment, which then leads to we're trained to now know, okay, coming down the straight, you're going to see a helpless little lamb just coasting, doesn't even bother defending, because he knows if he doesn't get out of Maggots and Beckett's with X amount of lead, there's no point defending, because the guy's just going to drive right past you, no worries.
That's the thing. That's why I'm probably not sitting here more mad about it. I think because everyone has the same tool set, and it's up to them how they want to use it. So there was always going to be give and take. You could see, like, I definitely 100% believe that Kimi is the fastest driver on track, and he has been all year. But you could see how long it took him to still pass Hamilton. Like Hamilton in the early stages of the race. Yep. Just in case, because that blank look was.
Did you get that?
That blank look was throwing me off. I was like, man, am I reciting it?
I can't believe you picked that up. We spent too much time together.
Yeah. It took him quite a few laps to make the move, and I think, well, it goes to show that again, strategy is now bringing teams that don't quite have the advantage that say Mercedes are enjoying. They can still make a go of it. I'm sure that Kimi would have passed Charles at the end of the race. He looked lightning quick, and he was catching him at a rapid rate. Unfortunately, his DNF means we'll never know. But, Ferrari positioned themselves quite nicely, made it to the end of the Grand Prix, and picked up a double podium. Yeah. It could have been a 1-2 as well. So
absolutely.
I sit here gushing over the Formula One, looking very forward to Spa.
Is it Spa next?
Yeah.
Or the Monza was next?
I'm sure I was...
Oh, don't trust me. I'm so far out of kilter.
I'll double check that at the end of the pod.
Yeah.
And, we started off the year hating Formula One, thinking, do we really want to watch this? And, did we start a podcast at the wrong time to talk about Formula One?
Yeah.
But it's starting to win me over.
Good.
And Formula One, since we've changed sides, feel free to give us some tickets to some Grand Prix every now and then. We'll happily promote the sport in the state it's in right now.
So. We're fanboys. Yeah. You know what hasn't won me over?
What's that?
The fact that you got me to do the talking points, set the episode up, and we spent 15 minutes on one of yours.
Well, I was sitting here quite fulfilled, even though the race ended on a deflated note in hilarious fashion.
Speaking of that, that's one of my talking points. We'll get to it. What the fuck happened there? That was super disappointing. And I tell you, I agree with you on all fronts. The race was,
Talk about blue balls.
Yeah, the race was... if you were to rate it out of 100, so you got a nice big sliding scale. You just got a big range. Because let's not forget,
you can really dial in the accuracy.
Let's not forget, there's been 1,153 races in Formula One history. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me how I know, it comes up later. That's how many races have been in Formula One history. You got to have a big scale to rank these things, right? So let's say up until that point, if the race just ended, what do you reckon? To 80, 75?
Hang on, like...
Out of 100. 100's like...
Hang on, like with the ending that we got? You
mean? No. If it just ended naturally, as in no safety car, no nothing, it just ended. Oh, right, Where was the race as you described it?
Yeah, probably like a 7 out of 10, or in your sliding scale,
you
70.
need a bigger scale. The sample size is 50, 60,
70 out of 100.
Okay, so it's like pretty good, right? Not outstanding.
But you nick is it out of a knot?
Not outstanding, but pretty good. Entertaining enough. If we got that one lap, it turns into a 92.
Well, you know how I know that's true? Because when Verstappen went off, first I was in shock. I was like, wow, Verstappen, another mistake. We know that it's the car now.
Comes up. Continue.
And then...
Wait. Do we know something about it?
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Yeah. I don't know anything.
See, you cut me off.
You breaking news.
So after I got over that shock, straight away my mind was like, he's pretty far in the gravel there. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to get him out in time. But it looked like the FIA and whoever's officiating was making their best efforts to give us a one-lap shootout.
They got him out fast.
I sat on the edge of the couch.
There was 4 laps to go when he went in. They had him hooked up and pretty much out of the gravel trap. As they were passing
there would have been 2 laps to go.
3.
Yeah, sorry. Two whole laps.
Yeah. So there were 3. Yeah, exactly. So 2 whole laps, 3 including the one they were on, when they already had him hooked up and getting out.
At that point, there was no reason that we were
getting a one-lap shootout. They had the lapped cars out the way. Like, procedurally, it was done. I mean, they said on the screen, safety car ending. I mean, the commentators were... I mean, I could see before the commentators. I'm like, the safety car passed the pit entry. And the commentators are still like, when's Charles going to go? And I'm like, well, he can't really go again. I mean, there's a bloody Mercedes-Benz in his way.
Unless there's a second, safety car pit lane that they can just roll out.
So straight away I was like, you're joking. And then they were like, you're joking. But...
you're joking, and then they were
joking, man.
You're joking.
Everyone was joking, and it was not a fun time. I don't see what the joke was because again, I'll ask you because you clearly spent all day, like you said, thinking about Silverstone and picking up every goddamn news article that came across, but you couldn't do the talking points. Have they said why the safety car had to stay out?
It was a glitch in the system.
No,
a digital
way.
Glitch. Yeah, so there was no actual reason as to why the safety car.
Tell me that ain't a goddamn.
What did I say last week?
That is that.
Do you remember what I said last week about
No, I didn't
how? Well, my point was about how they can manufacture these results and make it feel
100.
phony, and
that is the worst. That is the worst. That makes me madder. I thought, okay, maybe a marshal was late getting back to his post, and it was all about a technical glitch. They had. Like I said, I was the same. Race, okay, I'll give it it's on the higher end of it. It's a pretty good race. It was about to be an all-timer. I mean,
I agree.
Both George and Hamilton were putting it all on the line.
Oh, yeah.
And
they were going full send.
It was just, we were going to be
Hamilton
set
had
up
a tyre
to
advantage.
treat. And it's been a long time since we've had a one-lap shootout. Maybe since 21. I don't know.
It's kind of ironic that... the Brits were banging on about this is the greatest track in the world. Which do you agree? Do you agree that? I don't agree either. So I'm glad that you said that, because I was like, I mean, it is a good track, but I don't believe it's the best track in the world.
No, God.
So I'm glad that you're a man of taste as well. So we had to listen to them bang on all weekend. This is the greatest track. Blah blah blah. Now, unfortunately, Silverstone beat the record for the highest attendance of a Formula race of all time, taking it from
600,000.
Yeah, taking it
Australia.
from Adelaide. So
yeah.
I'm right. Adelaide is in Australia.
Well, I was thinking Melbourne, but yeah.
So that's a damn shame. But it kind of makes me laugh that Charles picked the Brits' pocket. I mean, it was literally Charles, Brit on the
in the sprint. Not that Charles at the front, but the sprint, same thing. Second, third, fourth was Brits.
Italian or Italian adjacent.
Ah.
So it's kind of funny that they didn't get that taste of success.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they balls up the final lap and they send almost 600,000 fans, the
home of Formula
with blue
One.
balls.
Exactly. The home of Formula One. The home of all the teams, the fans, you'd say are the biggest, as a conglomerate, the biggest group of Formula One fans in the world. And they let a technical... Is there not a guy there with an override button to say, whoa,
apparently there's no
this
override
AI
buttons
system
anyway.
should have told the safety car to pit. It hasn't. There's no reason it should... Override button pit. They need to learn. I hope they learn from this. They went from what could have been a 90, and I would say it dropped to a 60.
Yeah, I agree.
If we were hovering at a 70 to a 75, it dropped to a 60.
When they waved the checkered flag, they should have went womp womp.
Yeah,
at the end there too.
That makes me madder. I don't even. Okay. Oh, is that it? Is that what you got for this?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Recompose yourself, and then we can
move on. So I had two more. We'll quickly hit one. We'll hit both because we have to talk about Oscar, of course. We'll get to him. But I said a couple of races ago, is it time for Ferrari to implement team orders already?
Yeah.
Like, should they put all their eggs in the Hamilton basket? And this race showed they will not be doing that. Because they had a chance. No. I know at the very end they didn't really have a chance, but they had a chance to give Hamilton 25 points whilst Antonelli, with 6 laps to go, Antonelli was scoring 1 point, probably almost no points. They had a chance to flip it around and give Hamilton 25 points. And when I looked at it, that went from a 40. That would have put it from a 40 to a 15-point deficit. Right. I mean, you are right in the game at that point.
Yeah.
And with Mercedes issues, you are right in the game. So I think this shows that, disappointingly, I kind of hoped and thought, because I don't know where Charles is, but I think he's pretty far behind.
Asking Charles to hand over a first place is a little bit different to asking him to hand over a second or a third.
We have agreed, and we speak for Ferrari, we have agreed that they've told Charles, this is not your time, my boy. We've got this guy. Look at him. He's great. He's great. If other time's coming for him, he's got maybe 2 years left. It's his time. This is the hammer time, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? Charles, get in line. Pay your dues. Continue to pay your dues, mind you. You've been doing it for 10 years. Continue to pay your dues. Your time will come. This shows that they're still trying to finger both of them at this point in time, and they're still trying to make them both happy.
Yeah. I think that Hamilton probably would have been, in a way, even though what happened to Antonelli happened, the man who felt like he lost the most coming out of the weekend.
Well, he could have been 15 points behind. He's now 28 still. So he's now still... He's gone from right in the game to still Grand Prix and more.
Well, if he just got it on pole over Charles, everything probably changes. Everything's probably different, and Charles is probably holding up.
If he doesn't jump the start, there's a lot of...
Well, that's another thing, but he...
Oh, sorry. What did Brundle say? He didn't jump the start. He just
It's
went
funny.
before the lights. It's like,
It's funny
bro.
too how he kept reiterating, like,
Yeah.
it's harsh. That's a harsh penalty.
It's a harsh penalty. 100%.
Hang on.
It didn't gain him 5 seconds. But did he? How do you not jump the start, but jump the start?
yeah.
We get it's harsh because he didn't jump a second ahead and get off to a big. We get it. We get it, Brundle.
Yeah.
But it's a jump start.
I have to say I've missed Brundle the last few weeks, but then I quickly no longer felt that way. And it was funny because he was finding all these Brit celebs on the grid, and they're all just like butt licking him and just giving him his chocolates and whatever. And
I saw Hugh Grant. That was the only one I saw.
Yeah, and he balls that up too. He goes, "Oh, you're great in the Gentleman series," and Hugh Grant was like, "I wasn't in the series.
He was in the movie.
I was in the movie."
Yeah.
But yeah, I
great movie by the way.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Brundle and his bias towards British people.
Yeah,
walk and the celebs. Come on, keep up. Fast pace. We're moving at a quick pace today.
Well, I can't remember what my point was going to be now, but yeah, I immediately regretted, him being back on the broadcast because of his relentless glazing and making excuses for all the Brits and whatever. There's a whole rest of the world watching this, buddy.
That's the thing. I feel like once upon a time, sports broadcasters had to be unbiased. Should have been unbiased. They've just gone right out the window with these two. And I feel like they're worse than ever as well. I don't know if it's because the amount of high quality Brits, it used to just be like Hamilton, maybe like a Button every now and then.
Sure.
Whereas now it's like they've got all these guys to pedal for, and 3 of them are pretty good. So they're just like gone full heavy focus on it.
So bringing it back to Ferrari real quick, I think it also shows how quick, again, things change race to race.
Oh, yeah.
Like Charles looked kind of like he had no confidence, and he was, I don't think you could write him off completely, but he looked like he wasn't really in the conversation anymore.
And all of a sudden, season as well. Not even like a race to race basis. Like all season he's been...
Yeah, he's been on a downwards trajectory. All of a sudden he's turned it around and he's copped his first win in over 2 years. So I was stoked for it. I mean, the way Piastri's going at the moment, I'm reconsidering, trading in my McLaren jerseys for Ferrari ones because at the moment they're the most exciting team to watch, and I really like what I'm seeing.
And you
with
can't
them.
pick them. Like you can't bet on Formula 1 right now because it's just anyway. Good segue to Oscar. Boy, oh boy, man, we were on cloud 9 last week with his 4th place finish. We thought he'd turn this thing around. He's found momentum. He's found the trick to this car.
He had the light bulb moment.
Yeah,
where it was like,
yep,
I know what I have to do now.
Back to the scrub.
Well, he was looking pretty strong all weekend.
Up
Up until the moment
Q3,
he got out qualified by Norris.
Oh god! And I've got a little Q2 tidbit later, so we'll get to the Q2 stuff. But come to Q3, and I texted you after because I'm like, again. This is his freaking weekend every year. It's every weekend. His race every weekend. Yeah, he gets to Q3 and for whatever reason just loses a bit of pace or can't gain that bit of pace on Lando. And then all of a sudden he starts the race, the most important thing of the weekend, he starts behind Lando.
It's like Lando has this other mode that he can just hit right at the, right in the clutch moment of qualifying, and he just keeps pipping Piastri, and it's, freaking annoying, man.
Yeah, and then we don't know how the race would have paid out if whatever happened to Oscar. But obviously, he didn't recover, had no chance of recovery. But even in the sprint race, it was that super entertaining, great couple laps with like 4 or 5 guys. Who's the first to fall off? Oscar. And then he ends up nowhere, off the pace.
Look, the McLarens certainly don't look strong. Like maybe stronger than the Red Bulls, but even then I'm starting to doubt that. But I'm even worried that Hadjar has sort of leapfrogged him now a little bit. Like
I think the Ferrari. I think
you like to say recency bias. I like to say you're only as good as your last race. And Hadjar looked, solid out there. So now I'm thinking, okay, so Piastri's potentially not even last out of the top 7. He's now potentially even last out of the top 8. I just don't know. I know he got unlucky with. Basically, we didn't get to see any vision of it because no one's watching Oscar. I suppose there's only that's the problem. There's a billion cameras on track.
Say there's 100,000 cameras on track, but unfortunately, Oscar is not British.
Well, unfortunately,
track.
999,999 are on fucking
Every
Lewis
Brit.
and Lando and George.
Somehow you don't catch the only bit of action that was actually detrimental to someone's race.
Yeah. So he apparently got squeezed by the 2 racing balls. I wasn't noted wasn't looked at, wasn't investigated. So we literally have no context on
That's
who was
because
at
they didn't
fault.
even put cameras on Oscar's car this weekend, apparently. No T-cam, no
Yeah.
nothing.
It's
There's no,
crazy.
how's that no
It's
footage
crazy.
of this thing?
Yeah. So, you can't really blame him there, or maybe you can, we don't know. But yeah, it's just another weekend where it just looks like he's lost a little something. He's lost a little confidence. So
And look, don't get me wrong.
we're riding the wave, but there's some highs
that's
and
the
there's some
thing.
lows. So.
Austria will keep me strong. That's the thing. We spoke a week before Austria, whatever race that was, Spain, and it was like, party boy, yeah, what's going on here? Like 30 seconds behind Lando. Like, what? And then he goes to Austria, and then he has a storming race, and it's fantastic, and it's great. And then you have this one, and it's like, well, yeah, trends are trends. Come Monza or Spa, whatever's next, he'll be right back on top.
Well, he's still our boy. We're still rooting for him. We hope he does find some form and find his way back to competing for Grand Prix, because I'm invested into the season, and he's not even fighting for Grand Prix wins. So, imagine that. And I'll be euphoric.
We're going to be very close to... When was his last win? Andy?
We're getting close
knocking
to
on the door.
Yeah.
Of it been
It comes
12
up
months.
quick, doesn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I was telling everyone, Oscar's a beast at Silverstone. This is what he needs. He just needs to get a run of form, string together a few races. He's going to crush it. And then that happened. So
how do you he's not got the worst deal of the in-grid. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple of Aston Martins running around out there. But how do you rock up every weekend knowing there's just nothing you can do? That's what it seems like for Oscar, especially. It seems like there's nothing he can do. You do everything you can, and then you just one step behind.
Look, we love putting the tin hat on. And we did for a lot of last year how McLaren treated Oscar. And I'll continue to do so because I still don't think that we're seeing the full picture. But I think one of the biggest telling things right now is there is just so much noise around Verstappen joining McLaren. It is not going away. It is hanging around. And I think that makes me worried that there's a lot of truth to a potential change up coming, whether it happens in a year or two, who knows. We know that Verstappen is extremely frustrated with that car right now. And, he's probably more motivated than ever to kind of jump ship.
Well, I think he'd be frustrated with the McLaren too.
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm probably most concerned about is whenever they're asking and probing McLaren about it, there's always this, we've got two great drivers and they're happy. But if he does become available, we would have to look at that. And of course you would. He's probably the driver of our generation. However, then when you hear Lando talk about it, Lando talks about it like, I would love to have a new teammate to race up against and someone to push me further. And, he basically talks about it like he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is, why would he?
And saying shit like that is that's
certainly not
pretty rude.
It's certainly not showing that the two drivers are considered number one drivers and this is their future and these are the two guys that are going to carry them to victory. It's kind of now being shown more and more as this is Lando's team. And, if Max is coming over, there's only one option for where he's going to go. And it's not going to be Lando. So
I'm starting to wonder if I'd be happier if there was no Australians in Formula One.
Yeah.
This is probably why I love NASCAR so much. Well, that's not true. I got someone to root for. But that person's very good
Australian.
He's very good at one particular thing over there. So I get to see multiple wins a year. But besides that, on ovals, I've got no dog to fight for. I've got no horse in the race. And it's just greght to watch and just enjoy it for what it is. Great racing. And then, but the problem
is a very unstressful way to enjoy sport.
Yeah.
I'll admit I've watched a little bit of the World Cup just to keep just to keep on, just a talking point with people and whatever. It's what I do. I like to network, I like to...
If you started talking to me about that, I'd just happily walk the other way. Count me out.
But that's the thing. I can just watch it for what it is because I have no skin in the game. I don't care what happens. I don't give a shit who goes through.
But do you find it entertaining?
No.
So what's
but there is a severe lack of sport right now, okay? All right? You can't blame me for turning to soccer.
There's plenty of motorsport out there. Broaden your horizons.
What? And instead of watching 22 men kick a ball around a field, let's watch 40 guys drive in circles?
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Anyway. Move on.
So
I'm not letting you go down this NASCAR route.
We'll move on from the talking points. We've got some categories.
All right.
So, first up, final boss of the weekend. Best of the best. Who did the greatest job at the Silverstone Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
3 nominees. You may be, but we might get one new viewer
Yeah,
who
true.
doesn't
Yeah.
understand
Welcome
the
to
philosophy.
the show, by the way.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
for
great
finding
to
us.
have you.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, send your friends,
Yep.
comment,
Do all the jazz.
that stuff. Yeah,
Yep,
it's
do
great.
the
It's
dance.
great to have you on board. It's all fantastic. All right, 3 nominees for you. A, Charles Leclerc.
Mm-hmm.
His first win since 2024 Austin.
Didn't see that coming.
Yep. His 9th career win. Matching who?
Daniel Ricciardo?
Mark Webber.
Mark Webber. My bad. Mubby.
That's all right. I'll forgive you.
Well, I guess there's a connection there. I'm sure that there's like 20 drivers who are on nine wins. That's probably overshooting it
I
a
think
bit.
you're overshooting that, but there's probably not. There's probably only those
There's
two.
probably like half a dozen drivers, but
That's probably just those two, in my opinion.
I'll check that later.
I feel like drivers either win like 4 or like 20
Yeah.
or like
I don't know.
80 to 100.
I reckon Bottas is around there. I reckon Perez is around there.
Nah,
Ooh,
yeah, around there.
I'm
Maybe
starting to make
like
you think.
7.
Okay, all right.
Hey.
Such a far fetch from 9.
That is 2 more whole Grand Prix wins.
All right, continue.
Yeah, Oscar's only got like 8. All right, B. Kimi Antonelli for telling Bono that he's going to race on, even though he's told to retire the car.
Yeah.
Something Bono would not be accustomed to hearing from his drivers, like Hamilton, the amount of times he'd requested to retire the car.
Yeah.
Or C. Alpine with a double point finish.
I'm going. I personally here, and you can try and sway me if you want. I'm going Kimi Antonelli. I'm well and truly on the hype train. I'll tell you why.
I'm shocked because I was kind of hoping you'd.
I'll tell you why. Charles won the race. Bravo to him. But it was only because Antonelli DNF'd. Now, Antonelli once again looked like
credit.
the fastest man on the track by far. George had nothing on this kid. Once again, he's making George look silly.
Kimi get the sprint win?
He managed Hamilton, who was probably the biggest rival of the day. He managed him fine. He got past him. He put together a great strategy. He went long on those mediums and was giving himself a nice tyre window. And
did I see he only came out 4 seconds behind Charles as well?
No, it was around 10, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was around 10. But don't forget, then
That
you
makes
had,
more sense.
I think we had a yellow flag or a VSC not too long after. And
For the Hulk.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's a couple of the reasons there. So, I think he's been unlucky. Everyone's sitting around here going, "Oh, George is so unlucky." No, bullshit. George is unlucky, but he's not as unlucky as Kimi Antonelli.
I mean, Kimi, gave up second place in Spain after passing George. He now gave up a potential win and then a potential top 4, and then because then they pitted him again, and then a potential point.
Yeah.
Like they had so many chances to let this guy score points.
Yeah,
Screwed up every time.
Yeah,
he's
on a heater.
He is right in the bad luck train.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's still got, assuming Hamilton's second, and he scored 12 points. I did the maths earlier. He's still got a 28-point lead.
The only way he doesn't win this is if the car keeps letting him down.
But he's still surviving the car letting him down somehow.
So that's my third reason. So, as you mentioned, Bono's he's used to Lewis wanting to park it up and call it a day. I can't race anymore, Bono. Pull me in, save the engine. Not Kimi. Kimi, I like this kid, man.
1 point.
I mean, I like what he did in Monaco. You mentioned it, how he raced his hardest.
Yeah.
1 point on the line, he wasn't giving up. He was going to drive that undrivable beast.
And he had to get and he had to clear 5 seconds on the next car. And again,
and he was
the car
doing
was
it
missing
too.
pieces. Like, that is determination for what is 1 point.
And like, there was a moment where I was watching this, and I wouldn't say I'm the most risk adverse person, but I was watching it thinking like, this has one of those eerie feels to it where like there's something not right with the car. The driver is pushing beyond his limits to try and stay in it, and for a point, mind you. And it's like, what happens if something breaks that shouldn't break, and you spear off into the wall? It's not going to be a good look. And
They're running on an airfield. If he hits a wall, he's trying really
but
hard.
even still, you come around corpse and something snaps or gets jammed in the wheel and you go flying. All I'm saying is there was a moment where I'm like, is it worth the 1 point?
Well, at that point,
but for Kimi, it clearly was.
I blame Mercedes. I mean, what happened? They pitted him. He knew straight away. I mean, for a driver to make that call, I mean, he was in the lane and they were still like, can you give us more info? Like, you've made this decision on your own so quick without even telling us what's going on. How many mechanics are all looking at that car and no one noticed? No one noticed whatever it was. That was
the wheel guard.
Yeah,
had I think it had like snapped or bent.
Oh,
and
yeah, it was a brake duct. That whole thing. How no one noticed that? I mean,
To have to then pit again to have it removed, yeah.
And then if they pull it off the first time, he probably doesn't get the 5-second penalty.
Look,
he probably finishes fifth.
I'm no engineer. I'm just a humble retail salesman.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that.
High school dropout, the classic stuff. But when I was watching his onboards, my eye straight away went to the left wheel guard, and I was like, there's something wrong there. There's like a piece of plastic that shouldn't be there that the other side doesn't have, and this thing should be asymmetrical. True. I think I'm using that word right. Once again, high school dropout, but
Did you drop out of high school?
Well, I went back. Don't worry, I went back, but I did drop. And I'm watching this thing, and I'm like, well, that's got to be the problem, right? So how did everyone miss this?
Exactly. You got the amount of people watching the TV, watching the data, and then again the amount of mechanics there in the lane, and you think you take a beat to just. I know they would have inspected the suspension, but they would have inspected stuff. How they missed it is just it's flabbergasting.
I'm blown away by the kid. I think that he's the next generation of Formula One, clearly, but he's ushering the type of racer that we want to see. And my only hope is he's going to have competition in the future. That's what I want to see. I want to see everyone, performing at their peak and at their best. And at the moment, we're getting a bit of a shake-up here. But how great would it be to see, every handful of drivers being pushed to their limits of Kimi's caliber right now?
Yeah, I listened to a podcast a little while ago. It's it's American, more of a NASCAR podcast, and they kind of dabble in other sports.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, and they mentioned Formula One. They're talking about Kimi Antonelli, and they were saying, does he lower the how you feel about Formula One? Do you think of Formula One as the greatest drivers, the greatest this and that, and the peak of performance, and then you've got this 19-year-old able to come in and do the things he's done? This was like a couple weeks ago before these last couple of hurdles for him. And I think maybe at the time you could think that, but I think now he's shown enough tenacity that it's not just the car.
Yeah.
It really is him. Again, the Spain thing, getting that pass on George changes the narrative. I'm staying out Bono, like literally going against the team, defying the team that said, bring the car in, we're done. He goes, no, I want to fight for this point. And it wasn't just coast to the end. It was continue to push to get the gap, to clear the 5 seconds, to get a point. Like, it's all these things that show that it's not just the car. Like, it's him. He's fighting for this.
Yeah, that's the caliber of driver we want to see. Not these rich kids who are just, collecting checks and, dating good girls and living the lifestyle and whatever, but they're just hanging out in 20th.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of those guys, get them out of the sport. And I want to see more purebred races. Like, if we're moving into this more technological era of Formula One, and the car, more than ever, the car and the technology is having an effect on performance and on results, I still want to see the best technicians.
Yeah.
And I think he's ushering that through.
Yeah, very good. All right, Kimi Antonelli, final boss of the Silverstone Grand Prix.
Well done.
All right, biggest noob of Silverstone.
He gets a win in our book. He might not have got a win in Silverstone, but he gets a win here on our podcast.
Exactly right. And if Mercedes could build a car that stuck together, he might as well. He could have had both.
Yeah.
But I'm more impressed with him the way the race panned out. Even though he scored no points, than if he just coasts through on fresh tyres and gets that win.
Hey, it was an enjoyable watch.
Yeah. All right, biggest noob of the race. A, off-track rules hampering Kimi.
Sure.
With
you're talking him getting...
It's a non-performance. You don't gain anything. It's in fact an issue that he went off and he lost the amount of time he lost.
It's kind of an oversight that they need to address, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of time they judge off tracks by looking at a camera that's dead on the white line, sure, that's performance. But when it's as egregious as what his was, when he's literally getting overtaken by Norris, so he's giving up fourth or fifth, whatever it was, clearly you can look at if it's just an automation system where it's like, bang, that's a tick. Again, there's automation in Formula One that is clearly glitched.
Yeah,
needs to change.
Why can't common sense prevail?
Why can't they go? Okay, clearly that is an error on our behalf, and why can't Mercedes dispute it? He didn't serve his penalty, a la Pierre in Monaco.
They've set that precedence now, haven't they?
Why can't they go?
As long as you don't serve your penalty, then you haven't admitted guilt and you can fight it.
I don't know how the rules are written, but if the rules are written, you can't leave the track and gain an advantage, which I'm sure is how they're written. Why can't they go to put a dispute in to be like, show me where the advantage is when this lap was 3 seconds off the pace because of this incident? Why can't they fight it?
I assume there's 2 more candidates on here. But
Max, okay, here we go. You got to tell me what happened here. I've got written down Max 2 weeks in a row loses the rear of his car.
So it's the same issue both weeks. And basically when the wing closes, it looks like it closes, but it actually doesn't close fully, and it leaves a small gap still open, which takes away just enough downforce on the rear.
So is it he's braking? Is he braking so late it's not allowing enough time to close before he turns in, or is it a mechanical failure?
It's a mechanical failure, and he said that the failure that caused this one was different to the failure that caused the Austrian one. What I also find interesting with this is any time something goes wrong with Max Verstappen, whether it is him or the car, and we can only assume that they're being honest about which element it is. But I love how Red Bull and Lauren Meckies straight away come out and they just, ferociously apologize to Verstappen in the camp. It's our fault. It's our mistake. We're so sorry. And you're like, man, they are terrified of this guy. Like they are terrified they're going to lose him.
Yeah. He holds the key to this whole.
It feels like they're plugging holes with duct tape. Like bullet wounds with duct tape, and it's just coming apart at the seams slowly. So
look, I just wonder if it's something to do with Max. Back in the day, when DRS first came out, you could use in practice and qualifying, you could use DRS at any point you choose, fully up to the driver.
Yeah,
at any point. It was only they changed it to DRS zones in practice and qualifying to stop ballsy drivers from putting the DRS zones on in opening the DRS in risky areas.
What a shame that was, honestly.
Oh, you got to wonder. Again, Max, super aggressive, super late. You think about that Austria lap, all on the line. Is he breaking it by putting unnatural forces on that wing? Is he braking a little bit late and he's already turning the car in? So instead of the wing flipping back in a straight line with, equal amounts of force over the wing, is he already slightly turned and then it's kind of, maybe just turning and just buckling almost under a bit of lateral load while he's turning? And because this hasn't happened to Hadjar, these issues. And again, Hadjar's no Verstappen.
Yeah.
So you got to wonder, and again, that where it happened to Max there in Silverstone, it's the same as that Austria corner where it's a long turning circumference as you're braking. Like it's a long, you're kind of sweeping the corner. It's not a brake and then turn. It's it's all in one motion. So I just wonder, they're failures, but they seem to be with Max, and we know the way Max drives. Is it a case of he's just putting a bit of lateral load on the car and the wings just closing with a bit of uneven G-forces?
Like he's an aggressive driver, and I'm sure that he's one of the latest breakers. Closing stages of the race, I can only assume he's pushing as hard as he possibly can, so more chance of making an error.
But it's not an error. It's he's driving beyond the car's design.
Yeah, which is an error. He could have not braked as late.
Yeah, but if I'm Red Bull, like seriously, if this is the key, I don't even want royalties. Just a shout out.
Well, hang on. But what I was going to say then is, why would Red Bull cover for him? To like what?
Because maybe they don't. Maybe they haven't. That sounds hilarious because they're area engineers. Maybe they haven't thought of that yet. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they just go, this is a simple mechanical failure. They haven't thought of, hey, we designed this wing to shut in a fraction of a second, but in oversight, it needs to have linear load over the entire wing for it to actually close to the exact precise amount it needs to have the correct amount of rear downforce. Instead, when you put a little bit of lateral load on the car, and you got way more downforce on the left than on the right.
You explained it 3 times. I get
just
it,
need you to understand.
And our viewers and our listeners get it. Okay, you can explain it to me a 4th time if you want. I still understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, surely they would have diagnosed that in Austria and then been like, well, hang on, Max, what actually happened here? Just be careful there. And then if it happened a second time, they'd be like, we need to account for...
At least this time there's a spoiler to look at. There wasn't much of a spoiler to look at after his crash in Austria.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anyway, the third nominee, this might be hard for you to pick because, we've had to dissect every one of these. Brundle in Q2 giving absolute flack to Oscar about... Come on, Oscar. You nearly won this race last year, yet you're robbed of it. Come on, where's the Oscar we know? Meanwhile, at the exact same time Brundle's saying this, Crofty's calling out sector times for Oscar and Lando, and he's just ignoring him because he goes, they've just set the same sector time. Sector 2 comes around. They've just set the same sector time. Meanwhile, Brundle's just giving it to Oscar, and then they cross the line, and Oscar puts a better lap in than Lando. And I just couldn't help but be like, again, this is the disgusting bias from Brundle especially, that he is just giving it to Oscar.
Yeah.
We know the car's incredibly limited, and we are also guilty of being hard on Oscar. But this guy just coming out at the exact time that Lando's putting in a worse lap than Oscar, and he chooses then to really dig his feet into Oscar. Like, come on, Oscar, you can do better than this. Rah, rah, rah. No, not happy.
Okay,
Noob worthy.
Okay, so you got that Brundle. You've got Max.
Max losing control of the car. So
yeah, and the first one was Kimi.
the off-track rules that affect Kimi. That affected Kimi.
Oh, I don't know. My my heart wants to say Brundle, because like I am kind of getting very tired of it, but my head says Kimi. Like that's just a common sense thing. And
forget you probably won't remember because you got your memory of a caterpillar. But a couple of years ago, I recall a race with Norris having the same thing. You're on black and white, you get one more off track, you're going to be done. And then I remember him being overtaken by someone, who probably Max, who pushed him off the track. And I remember the commentary being like, well, that's it now. He's got a penalty. Like he's went off the track.
Yeah,
he didn't get an advantage. He literally kind of got pushed off, but he went off the track. But I don't remember there being a penalty for that.
Yeah, I can't remember. You're asking the wrong guy. Yeah,
that's for sure. Anyway, so what we're thinking, Kimi rounds up another, or the FIA for their rule set.
Yeah, I have to say, the noob-worthy award is in the lack of common sense on dishing out penalties for a driver who's clearly not gaining an advantage and is struggling with a damaged car. To me, that is nonsensical.
Yeah. And if he loses the championship by a point.
Yeah, well, I think you can point to a lot of other reasons why.
For sure.
But I would like to see that rule changed.
Yeah. There needs to be a bit of judge effect. The sensors, the automation, but a rule of fact as well. If you go off
and you set a PB sector or PB lap, like that should be penalised or counted for sure, 100%.
Or even if it is, even if it's not that, but if it is a case of you got the line and they're going over. I hate the line. Put gravel in, do something. But sure, that's fine. But when it is an obvious your car is mishandling, and you literally slide off the track or just bowl a complete wide, you're losing 3-4 seconds or a position.
I guess actually, when you think about it, I guess what's tough about that, talking of applying common sense, is he was clearly slower than the pace that he was setting, but I reckon he was still faster than half the grid. Well, like he was starting to pull a gap off Alpine once he kind of figured out how to drive the car and it not being able to turn right. Once he kind of figured out how to adapt to it, he was pulling a gap away from him. And whilst he wasn't necessarily going off the track at that point, there is kind of this element of like, wait, even with a damaged car and that's sending him off wide, he probably is still faster than, half a dozen of the cars out there, half the grid. So.
But we saw there was two moments. There was when the failure kind of happened and he just completely bowled a massive wide. And then, when he came out of the pits the first time and they hadn't fixed it yet, they just changed the tyres and got overtaken by Norris. And the same thing, he just understeered completely off the track. Like you take away those two and he's fine and clear. Probably got less off tracks than the most of the grid.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, BAFTA award. A, Ferrari's pace bounce back from Austria.
Yep.
B, Alonso finishing ahead of Stroll despite starting for the pit lane.
Yay.
Or having the F1 movie style start as the Sky commentary team pretty cleverly put together.
Well, and they were ripping on the movie too. They're like, oh, you know what that means, Crofty? He's going to win the race.
Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. They had a couple of movies. They talked about another movie during the race too. They talked about some other movie during the race too, and I was like, a couple of movie references. Or Hadjar for out qualifying Max. And turned out to beat him in the race too.
I'm going Hadjar on this one.
Yeah.
He pieced together a great...
You've been very hard on him for the majority of the season.
I've been, the thing that sticks out for me the most is I remember last year when we started and we were doing predictions. I to this day, I still don't forget that I said that he would fail miserably and be dropped before the end of the season. Yeah. And in fact, he got promoted, and then here he is out qualifying Max Verstappen, and he's finished
and completely fairly. They both have got their second run in Q3. He just did a better job.
He's gaining confidence. He's looking more and more comfortable in that car, and he's starting to look like he's, he can fight with those 8 guys or those 7 other drivers. So, bravo to him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. BAFTA award for Hadjar. Good job, Isaac. All right, Nerfed Award.
Round of applause.
Yeah, Nerfed Award. A, Lewis Hamilton's win and second place.
Shit, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. If they didn't pit him, or if Mercedes pitted George and we got the final lap, there's a good chance Hamilton wins that race.
I understand. I watched the race.
Yep.
No need for explanation here.
Okay. B, Kimi Antonelli and fans.
Sure. And why and fans though? Just give me a little exposition on that one.
Because we missed out on the battle for the lead.
Okay.
That was definitely brewing.
Sure.
Where
Okay.
there was, maybe 7-8 laps to go. It comes together. You know, Charles isn't giving it up easy.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't have much to fight with, but still, we were. I mean, not only did we get a safety car finish, but we were also taken away from the ability to see those two duke it out for the win.
Sure. Okay. I'm with you.
Or C, Lance Stroll qualified 21st. You may not be shocked by that. He was 1.5 seconds behind Sergio Perez, who qualified 20th. The fastest Aston Martin was 1.5 seconds slower than the slowest Caddy.
I mean, that's been consistent.
Has it been that bad? Has Cadillac been that far ahead of Aston? I mean, that's the thing here. Aston are always 4 seconds off the pace. But
Maybe not to that degree, but I do remember the last race, like Crofty or someone, Karoon, one of them, quipping that how off the pace they were compared to Cadillac, who was a brand new team.
True.
So
True.
it has been a consistent theme at least.
I mean, one of the Cadillacs caught on fire again, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah. They didn't have enough cameras to cover all the grid.
Yeah, because again, he's Mexican. He's not.
Yeah, they don't care.
They
don't care about Mexicans there. You know?
Yeah.
So, which award was this again? Sorry.
Nerfed.
Oh, nerfed. Okay. I thought we were in 8K because I'm like, I feel like you're missing one here, but no. Sure. Okay, I'm going to have to go Hamilton on this one. I think he
was definitely nerfed over P2. That was factual.
Yeah. And I don't even blame Ferrari on that one. I think, as we mentioned at the start of the podcast, it looked like we were going to get green flags. Yeah,
we were going to get a lap.
He did what he should have done in 2021.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. Okay, sorry. And, I think he made the right choice.
He did, because as you said, you did the research. They were going to go green. They were going green. Ferrari, they should sue the FIA. They should put in. This is money. Championship points equate to money. A technical glitch has stolen a P2 from Lewis Hamilton. A 1-2 for Ferrari.
Well, I mean, how far do you want to go back? I could list so many instances where their decision making has stolen things from people, but
especially from Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Hold your horses.
Yeah. Ben Piastri.
Hold yours. Yeah. Oh, God. Especially at Silverstone.
Yeah, and at Silverstone. So, I think
we're getting sidetracked.
I think Hamilton gets it. I almost think that every person watching the coverage, no matter who you rooted for, was quietly hoping that he was going to get it done, and he was going to get that 10th win at his home ground, and we were going to get the scenes at the end of the race. And he looked good all weekend. He looked like he was in for a fighting chance.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think he's going to feel the most disappointed because I think Kimi can hold his head up knowing he was definitely the fastest guy out there again and he would have won just if the Mercedes didn't decide to shit itself. But I think Hamilton, he made a silly mistake at the start of the race, which cost him some time. He was good enough to get pole. He did that in the sprint. So to just miss out to Charles, that's a bit of a miss on his part. And then to see Charles go on and get the win. A Ferrari won the race, just not the right Ferrari, not the one that everyone is expecting. It shows it could have been done. It could have been him. So different universe, maybe he does it, but in this one,
where would this have ranked in his Silverstone wins? So forget all.
It's up there. I mean, I can't tell. I can't tell you all 9.
Forget all of the ones where he had the dominant car, because boo, fucking who?
I think it's the top 3 for sure, right?
I'd agree. He's got the win on the flat tire.
Yeah,
that's all time.
That was great.
And then he had the win in the Mercedes when they were shit in the start of the Grand Force era when they couldn't win a bloody scratchy, and they came out and they won. He wins at Silverstone, of course. This would have been up there. I mean, again, he battled so much through the race. He battled the faster Kimi Antonelli. He battled the bloody time penalty. You get a last ditch 1 lap opportunity, which has dogged him in the past, to get it done over his teammate, and you'd put money that he gets it done. It's almost weekend. I don't think we've seen a 1 lap shootout, and we definitely haven't seen one this year. With these cars, with this battery situation, I don't think you want to be the leader. at the start of a one-lap shootout. I don't think you want to be the leader.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an advantage, does it? But
yeah. So I think if George pits, a big if, and he didn't, but if George pits, Hamilton gets to keep his second position. He starts in P2. I think he gets the job done. I really do. He doesn't leave there winless.
No, I agree.
All right, AFK. A racing finish. We've spoke about that.
Yeah.
Oscar's crash footage from lap 1.
Sure.
We've spoken about that.
That's not on file.
Or, much to Lewis Hamilton's disappointment, Michael Massey. AFK from the Silverstone Grand Prix.
Where was he when he needed him?
Yeah. Where was he when he needed a little bit of race manipulation?
Yeah, he's come off second best to last minute safety cars twice now, hasn't he?
And he made the decision everyone would have made at both times.
Yeah.
We know what happened in 2021. They didn't allow lap cars through. They did everything they could to get everything wrong. Michael did everything wrong to get that race underway. And thank you, by the way. Thank you sincerely from Formula 1 fans
and
for
still
doing
finding
that.
a way to balls it up.
Yeah. But he not pitting was the right choice at that time. In this time, pitting was the right choice. He made the right choice both times.
Yeah, it should have gone under greens.
Yeah.
So the race ending did just go AFK.
Yeah.
But this was the FIA's chance to rectify, some of the bad juju that they put on him.
Yeah.
Give look, Hamilton. We know we fouled you in 2021. We know we kind of cocked up the whole situation. We know it was unjust. Thanks for not suing us in the end. You're incredibly kind for that. Look, the least we could do is give you a second place at Silverstone in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
How does that sound? No, instead they went, yeah, get fucked.
Yeah. You also noticed during the coverage, speaking of FIA and their dodginess and their inconsistency and their absolute bullshit, the Austria thing last weekend with the qualifying, the double yellow thing. Man, the bloody commentary team, they've done their research. They knew exactly what a single yellow was. They knew exactly what a double yellow was.
Yeah, they made sure
that's a double yellow. Double yellows are out because Max is in the grab trap. There's a double yellow.
They made sure they studied their textbooks before coming in.
We were well in tune as fans with exactly what amount of flags were out there.
We've got Easter egg coming up next, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did we decide to give it to?
The AFK.
Yeah.
Well, we have a racing finish, Oscar's footage from lap 1 or Michael Massey.
Yeah, Michael Massey. He's gone walkabouts right when Hamilton needed most for some repayment. So
yeah. That debt goes unpaid.
Just real quick on the yellow flag thing that you said there. I just wanted to drop a little tidbit because I watched the post race stuff and Anthony Davidson. You know how we love him.
Do you watch it live?
Yeah, I watched the race live.
But
and then the post race stuff I watched in the morning. Yeah,
good decision.
I switched it off, got some Z's, switched back on as soon as I woke up.
Was Hamilton dirty on the podium?
He was dirty in the cool down room. Yeah. Things were very tense between him and George. He wanted to know.
He likes George.
Yeah, clearly he doesn't. He didn't want a bar of George.
I like the podium hats. I did see them.
Great, yeah,
they were pretty cool.
They were great.
I was going to give him a shout out. I forgot. Here's a shout out, podium hats.
Well, I commented on Hamilton's photo if we could have it because I was like, well, you have like 9 other British Grand Prix hats. So like,
and this is just the third place.
Can I have it?
Give it up. Yeah. Did he respond?
It is great. No, he didn't. No. Okay. It was a great cap. But what I was going to say is when Hülkenberg went off, I don't know if you remember how awake you were, but Hamilton was supposed to be investigated for yellows, and then that just kind of went away. No, didn't really hear what had happened there.
Fugazi.
Yeah, it was a Fugazi. It was a Fugazi. It was a. So, I was doing a little inspecting today to see what happened here. Like, did they say why he was noted for a yellow flag infringement? Did he lose his podium? Was Norris going to get gifted another fucking podium? What was the go? Nothing. They showed the onboard footage, and Hülkenberg is on the right, broken down, and Hamilton doesn't lift. He's flat out through the whole section. Now I can't quite remember where the yellows were showing, but they do note that there's like a blue one to indicate there's a slow car coming up. Right. So whether they didn't get the flag in time or whether the flag was missed by the cameras at the beginning.
The thing. Like they also get the yellow flags up on their dash.
Correct.
They can't.
So I don't think there was any definitive evidence if that was the case for him. But then they showed Verstappen's perspective. Verstappen has the dash alert, and he keeps it flat out past Hülkenberg, but he knows, right? So you hear him lift as he goes past Hülkenberg. He's already past him, and you hear a
Yeah.
And it's literally just to make sure it shows on the data that he lifted.
And we saw that years ago at Bahrain. Same thing.
It's
a
wild,
guy
dude.
crashed down the front straight, and it's the same thing. It's just you hear him down the straight, throw past the car, and it's a micro lift just to get it on the data.
It's hilarious. It's like, why are we playing
It's
this
taking
game?
the absolute piss. And that's why, unfortunately, they've got to bring in these stupid safety car rules where safety cars being deployed, everyone must slow down right now. Right now. Everyone slow down. The entire track. Doesn't matter where you are, slow down right now. It's like, why? Can't we catch the safety car? Like, I miss those days where it was catch-up flags. Catch the safety car as fast as you can. Get into the pits. No, now it ruins the race because everyone's got to slow down. Anyone who's close to the pit lane gets this massive advantage. I mean, speaking of Brollies.
Do you want to quickly slip this one in too?
Yeah, there's a Brolly on the track for a 10-second VSC.
There's British. They don't know how to hold on to their umbrellas.
It's
apparently.
a sun Brolly too because it was pretty damn sunny.
Yep. Easter egg categories.
Yep.
I'll give you mine first, and then you can close out the show for us.
Great, fantastic.
Like a kind gentleman that you are.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No pressure. No pressure. So Lewis Hamilton around Silverstone. He now has 9 wins. Unfortunately, didn't get the 10th.
He did last year. Did himself last year too.
Yep.
And the year before.
16 podiums. 7 pole
In
positions.
19 years or 20 years? 20 years. Actually, he may have I think, didn't they come here a couple of times during COVID? So he may have a little...
Let's call it 20.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there'd be a little sneaky, a couple of additional visits in there.
I'm blown away by that. Like...
Well, what's more impressive? That or the Ayrton Senna, was it 6 wins in 10 years at Monaco, whatever it is?
I think this. I think the fact that you can turn up to a track over a 2-decade period and you have a 50-50 shot of winning. Like, that is incredible.
Well, I'm not just saying this about Ayrton Senna. It's 50-50 shot.
Yeah, but this is over 20 years. That's over 10 years.
Okay.
And Monaco, I didn't give a shit if it's 1970 or 2020.
Right.
It's hard to pass on that track.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then not only that, 3 out of every 4 races, he's on the podium. Like, that is incredible dominance of
that
the track.
is very impressive, especially because if you want to say, home track, it's like, well, so is it for this year, 5 other guys, and traditionally 3 or 4 other guys. Like, they all share that same advantage. No, I do agree. I mean, like I said, he won in the Mercedes ground effects era when the car was absolute dog shit. They won like 3 races over the entire 3 or 4 year period, and one of them he got there. So he definitely rises to the occasion there, like nowhere else. So, cool. Good shit. All right, my Easter egg. This was Ferrari's 250th Grand Prix win.
Oh, was it?
It was.
Yeah, first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Speaking of, you throwing the entire episode at me at the last minute, you gave me that stat, so thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. But what you didn't know is that is 21.6% of all Grand Prix run in history. They've won 21.6% of them.
Yeah, that's impressive, I guess. I mean, I suppose that they did do it. They've had long chunks of winningness.
Yeah, sure.
They haven't had very, very much success lately. But, yeah, I guess that's impressive. If, you're turning up every Grand Prix and you're kind of sitting at a, 1 in 5 chance of winning.
Yeah, checks out. Yeah.
Good on them.
My question for you.
Good on them.
Do you know what the next best winningest team is?
Next best winningest. Logically, I want to say McLaren because of their longevity. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mercedes because of their dominance. And I could be missing a third party there.
Red Bull have been equally dominant for a longer period of time.
McLaren?
It's McLaren, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
204 wins, which...
Keep my Formula 1 cred.
Yeah,
thank God.
Absolutely. I'm impressed. 17.5%.
Yeah, so
of all
they're not
Grand
far
Prix
off.
win. So between the two of them, they've got almost 40% of the win share.
Yeah, I guess that checks out.
Yeah. So good stuff.
Cool.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks for coming along to the Silverstone Grand Prix with us for this debrief. Very important debrief where we tittle the main talking points.
Did we do a good job?
I think we did a fantastic job as usual. I wish more people would agree.
It's always a pleasure.
Yep.
I'm really enjoying watching Formula 1 at the moment. And I really look forward to just having these little powwows about them.
Yeah.
Because, it's just, I don't know, it's just nice to see a bit of a shake-up. Call it what you will, fake racing, phony racing, battery.
No.
The battery championship.
Get away from the mindset. It's different now. We're in a different era of the same era.
We've been crying out for strategy. If nothing else, bring back strategy. And this, I don't know if it was intended or if it was unintended.
It was unintended.
This has now given us strategy.
At some point during this race, I do remember looking at the totem pole and I was like, of the top 10, 5 or 6 drivers have pitted twice. But then you look at it and you go, oh, Max took advantage of a VSC. George had a slow puncture, which we didn't even mention. Like every driver you looked at who had multiple stops, it was an issue. I mean, Antonelli came up with 3 stops. Like, it did make me laugh that it felt like a strat race, but in fact it wasn't. It was Ocon took advantage of a VSC, which was hilarious because it was that umbrella for like 5 seconds.
But strat race in the energy deployment, I'm talking more specifically rather than pit stop, because that's probably still more related to tyre than energy.
It's all tyre.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm enjoying Formula 1 at the moment.
I agree 100%. Last year it was, I don't even know what side of the scale it's on, 50-50 wise, whether it was good or bad, because the Oscar, win was just very, very nice, it was very good, but then you had the mud, which made it
and we're still stuck in the middle of it. It's still pulling us down.
Yeah.
We're trying very hard to get out of this.
This is just refreshing. I mean, it's like I said, it's almost good to not have, we've got to watch Oscar kind of just be there, but at least we're not watching heartbreak of like, you should have won that race. Like, yes, and we had that with Japan this year, so they still could throw a little bit of it at us. But it's nice to just be able to watch a race between. I couldn't care. I mean, I want Kimi to win it all, but it's good to just watch. You got Kimi, you got Antonelli, and Hamilton. As long as they're racing each other, I'm happy. I don't want George to win. I don't want Lando to win. Max, Lewis, Kimi. I'm happy watching them duke it out.
Yeah,
Charles.
It's been great.
Yeah,
cool. All right. You want to sign us off? Send it out.
Yep. Like, subscribe. Comment some stuff, hit all the socials, and we'll be back for... Are you searching it?
I'm looking it up now.
Spa/Monza. I think Monza. Could be Spa.
But was it a triple
Is it in Belgium or is it in Italy?
Well, was it triple header? This... Yeah. Are you sure?
No. I remember you said it was a triple header.
Spa is next? No, I never once said. You're the one who said triple header. Yeah, I was under the impression it was a
So
double.
Is it or not? I feel like it's a triple.
It is a double.
It's not a triple header.
It's not a triple header. No. So we've got a week break and then we've got the Spa.
Are you sure? Is this next one a triple header?
No. The next one is a double header.
We have not had a triple header this year.
No, not yet.
Last year we had like 3.
Not yet. It looks like I don't know if we'll have one. It'll be late in the season if we do.
I hate Formula 1.
Hey, no,
they're taking away the good things.
We are now on board, okay?
They're taking away the good things.
We're on board. Don't listen to him. Give us tickets, okay?
You're a scumbag.
Duh.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
GG's.
See you next week.
Catch ya.
Bye.
See you, governor.